All right, guys, so I am hitting recording and I am going to actually take us off of Spotlight. I'm going to remove Spotlight for Sarah, and then I am, okay. So this is a place and we are recording. So we would love if you would come off of Facebook. Actually, we should probably answer these questions that are on the side really quick. So what if my Facebook group is not really mine or active? It's part of my uplines, but my people aren't really active members and future members. How would you probably tell us those people moved over? How would you get those people moved over? It's more like I'm starting from scratch. Starting from scratch is actually not a bad thing. You get to introduce this concept to you, say this is more personalized learning. This is me that is bringing you the information. I'm so excited to be in that role with you. Before we were with my upline, and you can stay in that group. Please don't leave because there's so much information in it that's amazing. But here are some things that I feel are going to help you on your journey with Young Living. And that's how I don't like to say spin it because that maybe feels like it's a little bit of manipulation, but that is the way that you would really give them the want to be off of it. And if they're not active, then say, personally, Sarah and I said, we've noticed you've not been in our Facebook group. We get it. Facebook, social media is it's a time suck. It's really divisive right now. Everybody's sharing their opinions over every single topic in the entire world. And we get it that it feels icky sometimes to be on Facebook. That's why we created this group off of social media. For those of you who really still want that education, you want that community feel, but you just don't want all the other garbage that comes with social media. We've created that for you off of social media. Yeah. It's not.
And then
Go ahead, Sarah.
And then just make a commitment every day to get content in there. Every single day, just start where you are, start from scratch, which I agree with Janelle is an okay thing to do. I really do. And then show them the value that you can bring every day, bring new content through, post in there in your discussion and, try to get it going that way.
And if you're like, what do I even put in there? Well, we're going to recommend, if you just don't know what to do, Life Steps. I'm going to be really honest, Life Steps has had some amazing posts lately. I have just taken them and I have put them in my Facebook group and some people are like, well, I want people to get the Life Steps app. How cool is it though that they're getting it? If they even get those notifications from Life Steps, they're also going to be getting you putting it in their face. More times it's in front of people, the more that they're going to maybe learn it and grab it. So Life Steps is an app that is put out by, is she a Royal Crown Diamond? The Crits.
Yeah.
Crits is her last name, C-R-I, yeah. And it's amazing. Like it is so good. They have a free version and they have a pro version. The free version is going to get you a ton of information and shareable stuff that you can use. So we highly recommend it. We actually recommend it so much that in our welcome email to our new members, that goes out. And so,
number one.
We say download this app. Yeah.
Teach them.
Are we allowed to do that with our upline education groups? Can you come off and explain what you mean by that, Amy? Just because there was a point in the conversation, I don't remember.
Right. I'm just saying, like, my group is more for just stuff with us. Like I do incentives, I remind people of announcements and stuff. I do a little bit of education, but I leave that. My upline is a huge education group, so there's no reason for me to recreate it. Do you think, is there any reason why we can't cut and paste from there?
I would just talk to your upline, but I don't know why they wouldn't want you to use it.
Yeah, definitely just a conversation you need to have with them.
Yeah, I would just make sure, because and everything that we always say is that we want to make sure we have integrity, which I'm not questioning your integrity at all. But just reach out to them and say, hey, I have this member group off of social media. Would you be okay if we use some of the content, the education that's in here, because it's amazing. And yes, Michelle said Life Steps is a cell app, but you can access it from the computer. Totally true. You can access it from the computer. They actually have partnered with Young Living, so you can you'll sign in with your member number and your Young Living password. So it's really good. I'm all about Team YL and that app, and releasing it to not just their team, but the whole of Young Living is pretty fantastic.
Anybody
Yes.
else have a question?
You guys are
What's
more
the
than
difference between the pro version and the free version?
So the pro version is a paid version, and they do have some extra things in there that are only pro. They
The
still
pro
have
version, it comes with a website really that has.
we're gonna say website because it's not really customizable. If
Yeah, I mean, it's a quick website that you can't change. You can't change very much. You can add a little bit of your story in there, but then everything else is just a template that you just basically put your name in. And then, it can link, you can link different articles, and it depends on, they've selected things that are free and selected things that are pro. So if you go in there and you see it's a pro, then you're only able to share those if you have the paid account. It is,
Yeah.
the content in there is fabulous, and there's a bunch of free stuff.
there's a
But
ton
the
of
pro
free stuff.
the pro stuff comes with images, it comes with story templates, it comes with a lot of great education that you can use.
Yeah. Michelle,
we-
did you have a comment?
The wellness assessment in that app is
Yes.
amazing. And then you have wellness box ideas that you can share with your members if you know a little bit about them. I'm really looking at canceling a lot of things and just using them for the stock updates that I get. It's been a really good app for that price.
Yeah, it is a really good app. I totally agree. So if you step up into the pro, like, you will not be sad about it. I can promise you. What I will point out though is, personally for Sarah and I, we're not using it as our website. And the reason is that, again, if we go back to what Sarah talked about of why we set up our webpage the way that we did, is that we are not just Young Living, right? Not saying that I'm selling another company, because I'm not. Like, I'm all in with Young Living, but I have more to offer than just people seeing oils. And honestly, that's kind of off-putting to people if they see a product immediately when they go to their website. Some people expect it, and it's not a big deal. Some people, you're sending there and they know who you are. But if we're looking at prospects, right, it's not always the best. And I know that Ashley with GetOiling, Coach Ashley, that she teaches a lot about this, of like, just making sure that you are not so heavily showing Young Living that people are going to go to it and be like, oh, it's just one of those. When really, we know that we have so much more to offer than just oils. I mean, really, think of Young Living as a whole. It's a lifestyle company. And if we only put oils on our front page, they'd be like, oh, well, I guess they don't have supplements, or I guess they don't have makeup. So I shouldn't have even gone where I just went, but it's a good topic and subject that should be talked about, because I don't know about you, but when I first started doing the business, I didn't know what I was doing. I had never been in network marketing before, and I thought it was here, 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 when it was, no, I have a solution for you. Let's talk about what you have going on, and then let's talk about the solutions, instead of, here, use this because it's going to work for everything. You know what? I don't know. Okay, let's get off that. Sorry.
Allison says, I'm new. What are your other businesses, not Young Living? Curious, as I'm trying to move my site away from just oils. My niche is homeschool moms of boys, and I want to connect oils to that, but also want to offer help homeschool moms, just the beginning. I think that when we are sharing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that we have a separate business per se, but just separate things that we love to talk about. So your people, your niche is going to be, the homeschool moms of boys. When you bring those people in that are interested in that topic, and you also talk about oils, or you also talk about, you know, how they can, that your niche, your audience, it's going to be, oh, hey, this can also help you, but it's not heavy on just oils. I think people are more likely to, you know, it builds trust when you're talking, when you make it personal and you make it you know, they are more interested in getting to know you than it honestly takes away a lot of that selling feeling that for you and for them when you have a whole, when you talk about just more, and it doesn't have to be necessarily another business, which is fantastic if you wanted to do another, you know, another business with that. Anything that you can teach homeschool moms can be turned into, you know, that can be turned into a business too.
Yeah.
Different courses or.
Yep. And that's what I was just going to touch on is sometimes we think so singularly when instead you could be creating a course for homeschool moms. Maybe you want to target the ones who, we have a ton of new homeschool people, right? You could be targeting those ones that are like, where do I even start? How do I do this? I need a plan of how my structure maybe should look like, even though I know that we have like the freedom to look whatever. You could do a free course. You could offer a free course to get those prospects and say, I've been there, I've done that. Here are my top tips. I'm going to walk you through what has worked for me and what I believe could help you with overwhelm in this whole process of homeschool. So you have a lot to offer. And with it, you also get to put in, well, of course, I'm going to have my diffuser going with this oil when we are doing this subject or this kind of topic and things like that. Like you have a really good audience that you get to try to target and get them to be your prospects. So that's another great thing about GetOiling. You can do free courses, you can do paid courses, you can do all of that kind of stuff. And so you have the opportunity to use the amazingness that Young Living has and to incorporate into other ideas and how you could market those, whether it's free, whether it's paid. Does anybody else have questions? I would like to know, where is everybody with their website that is actually on this call right now? Do you have a web page started? Yeah. Do you feel good about your web page?
Sharon says no. Yes, isn't it?
So Sharon, if you don't mind, I mean, we have time. So tell us where you're feeling right now with it. What makes it not exactly what you want it to be?
I'm just working on it. It just needs some work. I'm trying to personalize it for me, and I'm not the best techie. So I'm trying to teach myself how to personalize it. So it just needs some work, but I think it's going to be fantastic once I get it done.
It is going to be fantastic. It's not even, there's no thinking about it. It's going to be awesome and it's going to be you. And
right. It is going to be fantastic.
Yep. Okay, so I'm looking through all the stuff. Yes. So Terry said, I have a web page looking for ways to get people to it. So I know that Coach Ashley has done some training on this, and this is probably something that we can do in the future as well. Different areas and avenues that you can get people this information, that you have a website that is beautiful and has information that they need and they want. So we can definitely tackle into that. Donna says, I have GetOiling and I'm so overwhelmed. So Donna, my first question to you is, what do you want to do first? What is most important to you in getting set up? And you don't have to answer. Okay, leads. So getting your web page And then having some kind of funnel is definitely your first step. You have said that you want to get those leads, and that's where you're going to go with it. And also, I will tell you that as you're working on your website, you can set up a landing page with your freebies and have that going, even though you're still working on your homepage. You don't have to technically release that. You can have one that's up that says, I am, or website currently under construction. That's what your web page could actually say. And then you have your landing page that has a link that you can share with people so that you're collecting prospects even as you're working to that. Diane says, I haven't even started my GetOiling account yet, trying to get the confidence up to get started. You can do it. You can do it. And remember, like it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. I consider myself pretty techie, and I know Sarah does too. And at first we just had to wrap our minds around this new structure, this new thing. And just bite-sized chunks. That's what you do. Bite-sized chunks. I have a little visitor. Sorry. Are the freebies you are offering on the Simple Grace Collective Facebook pages or classes? They are in the, is that what you're asking, Myrna? The freebies are in the
They're all
Facebook
in
group.
guides.
Is that what you're asking? I'm sorry.
I'm just wondering if they are pages or are they classes in GetOiling when we download them? We
For
download the free
most
bundle.
part, yeah, for the most part, the freebies are usually a landing page, and the candle is hooked to a page. I think we also have, we have that even in PDF in one of the freebies, so it doesn't have to take up a page. I don't remember which freebie that was.
I
Was it the
feel
brand
like,
book
I don't know
freebie?
if we ever released that as a PDF. We'll check. We do have the candle PDF, like she said, we had it in a page, but we created it into a PDF as well. So if you didn't want to take up one of your pages. So we will make sure that we release that in there. And yes, okay, so we do have, if everybody's familiar with the RISE booklet that Young Living came out with, we did turn that into a course or a class. So that is actually in a class. So yeah, thank you for asking that.
Angela says, my corporate day job keeps me so darn busy. I try to work on Young Living Biz in the evenings. However, I end up not getting much done and just want to sleep. I feel you. And I was, it is difficult. If it's important to you, again, bite-sized pieces, staying consistent with getting, even give yourself 30 minutes or a power hour of this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut everything else off. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. I went through that same thing. I was still very, very heavy with photography, not loving where I was. And it was, busy on the farm, and I remember that lots of late nights, lots of extra time to make that transition, because that was a goal. It was something that I really wanted to try. I was going to do it. Unfortunately, it does take that time. And when you are, you have that full time, that's really is your income and your time. I do feel you. I understand that. I feel like so many people go through that too. But if you break that down, be consistent with showing up 30 minutes every single day or an hour every single day, no matter what, then eventually that switch starts to happen. And that the movement of where you were and maybe you weren't happy there, moving over to the transition is there. And, I know that that's real. The time commitment that it can take, but you can do it. bite-sized pieces again, without that overwhelm.
Someone asked where the Rise class is. It is in the Facebook group. If you look in the guides, I'm just trying to think of what Facebook changed it to. In the guide section, it should have the place to download it. And I think I may need to purchase the easy button. I will tell you that there are plenty of people on this call right now that have done the easy button, whether it was for their homepage, whether it was for the member vault, or whether it was for the brand partner system, or all three. And I will be really honest with you. If I had the ability to purchase these courses back when I first started GetOiling, I am the type of person that would have done it, paid for it gladly, and said, done. Now there is still work with them, especially with the homepage, because it's custom, it's you, it's just a template. But there are freebies. There is a funnel, there is a whole lead magnet with it. It's called Simple Start to Natural Living. It's a beautiful PDF. And then it also has a welcome email series that you can customize and make your own that's already set up. It's really, really good. So I will tell you, I would have purchased all of these things because that's who I am. I'm also someone who maybe would have tried for about 5 seconds and realized that I was over my head and I was not ready to try to do it myself. What, can we load videos into vaults? Absolutely. So you can upload a URL into vaults, or if you have a video that you created, upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, and they have free accounts on YouTube, and you can do that, and you can take that URL and you can put it in there. You can also get the embed code and embed it into your vault as well. Yeah, they can do that. What is the best way to ask a question to help after purchasing the easy button? You can email us, or you can post in the Facebook group. That is a really good place. And honestly, everybody in that in Simple Grace Collective, they're so helpful. They probably will answer it before we even do. That's kind of the way it seems, that if they've been there, done that, and they know the answer, they will share it, because Team YL is amazing.
Or the search. Hit the search button.
Yeah, you could search too. Thank you guys for your kindness over those courses. How soon should I see the training on the homepage? I just signed up for it and nothing in my email. We will check that, Allison, when we get done. It should be linked where it sends you something, but who knows? Sometimes technology doesn't work the way it's supposed to. We'll check and figure out why you didn't get it yet. Oh, I just heard yours come through. So I would hopefully think in the next couple minutes, you should see something. We'll see. If not, let us know and we'll make sure that we do that. Does anybody else have any questions? I want to make sure that we covered them all. I know that these Q&As are really helpful. And this is just the time to ask the question. And it's okay. We want you to know that it's okay to be frustrated with this process, but if you don't talk and ask the questions, then you probably continue to be frustrated. So this is a great place to ask those, or in our Facebook group, or in Grow Online with GetOiling. Their Facebook group is excellent. They have people who are there to answer questions as well.
Sometimes the technical things, we can help with some of those, but sometimes it's just a GetOiling. Maybe, we haven't seen some of that stuff, and they're fantastic, either email or in their Facebook group, to, answer any of those just general GetOiling, how does this work questions. Or if you get on, inside in the back end of your website, use the question mark. There's like a little question mark that's down in the lower right-hand side. On the other side, the lower left-hand side, there's a training to walk through, and you can search in, and it will highlight, this is the next button that you push. This is the next button that you push. It is fantastic to use that question mark That little
It
teal
would be
question
right
mark.
here, except I took mine off.
Oh, okay.
It is right here when you pop in there if you haven't turned it off. And then here's the little question mark that she said, the need help.
And it is very step by step. You know, I continue to use it.
Is it clear on your site for the prices? Sounds like some items are individual at lower prices or get it all for a bigger price. So we have the custom, the homepage course. It's called Simple Start for GetOiling. That can be purchased individually, but then we also bundled it with the member vault with a little bit of a discount than if you purchase the member vault and that first one separately. So that's the only one that's bundled together. And then we do have a brand partner prospect or a brand partner system that we just released in the last couple weeks. And so that one is all by itself. And it does say system. It's not a bundle, but yeah. If you have questions, you can also just reach out with it. If
Or use your birthday
Any-
money to get the courses. Happy birthday.
If on a limited budget, but would like to have the member vault for existing members and new ones as well as something for prospects, which program is best, please? I'm not ready to show on video. No, you don't have to come on video, I promise. So probably the member vault would be the best one. And we will tell you that if you don't want to do the whole brand partner system that we kind of came up with, you could totally take your member vault if you wanted to have a separate prospect vault and kind of reuse some of that stuff over into it. We have it a little bit different in our prospect vaults than that. We actually have bundles. So like if we're talking about seasonal changes, we actually have a bundle for seasonal changes, which thank goodness it's right along the lines of what Young Living is going towards with different things. And that's pretty exciting. But I would go first to I would get the member vault for sure. That seems like that would be the best one for you, Bertha.
Myrna says, in my member area, when I was editing, I did not see the section to add a post from the Facebook group. So if you go to the member community, it's called a discussion room, click on member community. And then once you scroll all the way down from the bottom, there's going to be a place that you can post, and that's where you're going to find. You shouldn't have any problems with that because discussion pages, are they pages? Discussion sections aren't limited from, right, Janelle? I mean, you can have as many discussion sections as you want. So I don't think, you know, with a class or a page, sometimes you're limited with the basic plan, but in the discussion area, that it should be there for you. Yeah, when you're wanting to do that, okay, I get it. Go ahead and go to your website /members and get logged in. Once you log in there, that's where you can post. When you are in the back end of your website, you're not able to post in there. You'll have to log in the actual member area.
So Angela, I want to just talk to what you had said about purchasing courses and with other mentors and not using them and utilizing them and going through them. Both Sarah and I did go for gold. I mean, since you
Raise your hand.
since you said that one specifically, didn't go through it. So like I think we've all been there, and I totally think that we all should be mindful of what we're purchasing, because I am a person who likes things. And if I think, oh, that might be helpful, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it's not helpful to grab everything and do everything. And if you don't have the time to do it, then don't do it. I will say what is different about our courses is these are literal, just taking step by step, showing you how to do it and giving you content to do it. So we're not, maybe eventually we will share the steps of how to build a business and maybe how to do different things, but that's not what these courses are. And so just wanted to make that distinction with that, because we've all been there and we totally get it. So I hope that I hope that answered that understanding. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Vivian, I have this same thought. And for me, there was a lot kind of just kind of left out there and not discussed, what is different with ours, the courses for us is, like we were saying earlier, if you can do things in bite-sized pieces. So let's say you need your homepage or you need the member vault. So you purchase it, you get added to one of our vaults that walks you through. This is video one. Depending on the length and kind of how in-depth things go, 5 minutes, here's the first step. Once you're done with that, it takes you down to the next step. Download your things, you watch us on screen, walk you through how to do it, the buttons to click. And I think even with ours, there's, there can be some confusion. And I think to limit that confusion is to say, I'm not going to go through the entire thing in a day and try to put it together in my mind. If you say, this is step number one, watch the video, do the thing. Step number two, watch the video, do the thing. And eventually it all gets put together. If problems come up, it tends to be, well, what about this? I'm questioning this. How does this fit in? Which maybe in a video coming, down at the end, we help you put that together. So if you just trust in that process of this is step number one, and then this is step number two, that makes it so much easier. I mean, in our minds, and I think in a lot of people's minds.
And so I want to point out something that Kat said. She said that I believe your courses are helping me with Go for Gold. I think that was one of our struggles with Go for Gold is like, we were told GetOiling is amazing and we bought into it, and guess what? We agree like 100% that GetOiling is amazing. But we couldn't figure out how to use GetOiling because we felt like it was needing to already be set up to be doing the things that they were teaching in Go for Gold. And so now, if Sarah and I had time, which at this point we do not have time, we could go back for Go for Gold and actually utilize it to the best of the ability. So I think it's very smart that you're doing that. And that actually gives me a little bit of like, I should go do that. So thank you for saying that. Okay, what is the best place? Can you show us the spring cleaning campaign and where it is found in GetOiling? So if you, let's see. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to find my Facebook. Sorry, my internet's so slow. We do have another freebie. I kind of forgot about it. Shall we
I was
just,
just thinking that when we were going through, we've done so many freebies, it's hard to remember. There's a lot of free stuff that we have, included in our Facebook group that works so well for leads. I forgot all about that.
yeah. So this is the Spring Cleaning Challenge freebie bundle. And what it includes is an editable GetOiling blog post, a Canva template graphics to edit them if you want them, and then a Google Drive that has all of the photos and a script. So you could run this if you want to, you could run this in your prospect group on GetOiling. You could run this in your member group on GetOiling, or you could run this on Facebook in your group in an event. The way that we like to do that, this is for members and prospects. Try to open it up to both. And so if you're doing it on Facebook, I suggest you do it in an event or a new group where you can put prospects and members into it. A lot of people are over groups, so an event would be really good because then you don't have them having to join a group. But then you also could use it, like I said, in your vaults or whatever. So this is in our Facebook group. Once you grab this resource, what's going to happen is there is a landing page that pops up. Sorry, so slow. And from here, it's going to send you an email, correct, Sarah? Is that how we have this one set up? It's going to send you an email with the resource link for the blog post, but then it's also going to send you a PDF with all of the stuff that you need, or all of the links are in the email. So if you didn't get that email, you please let us know, but this should come pretty much immediately after you sign up for it. And it's just a really cute, awesome little thing, just a challenge to do. And it actually would be a really great way to get people into your prospect vault if you have one, if you want to try to run it off of Facebook. Now, I will tell you that my leaders were like, can we please do one on Facebook as well? Like, so make sure you're mindful of what they're saying. Myrna, yes?
So can you continue what you're sharing now? What's the next steps? Okay, so we download it into our GetOiling. And now how are we going to use it in our GetOiling?
Yep. So the only
Thank
thing
you.
that's downloaded into your GetOiling is the blog post. And so you would come to manage, and then you would find the blog post, which honestly, I don't know. It might, I don't know which one it is. So I'm sorry, we got to open it up. So this is not the correct one. Okay, so this is actually what the blog post looks like. And you would go over to blog posts and you would go to manage, and then you would find this one. It's entitled The Dirt on Spring Cleaning and Products. And it just goes into 4 ingredients and why to avoid them. And then at the bottom, we gave you the option with a button, and you would click this button and you would click the little pencil to edit it. And you would put the link in there to wherever you are running this spring cleaning challenge, whether it's on Facebook, an event or a group, or your prospect vault. So you would put that link in there and then update it. So when people are on your blog, this is what they see. Now this is just a draft. That's why it says draft up there. But you could share this anywhere. So this is what this is. Now you will only have access. That's all that's in GetOiling. What you will also have access to though is, and give me 1 second. You will have access to this, which is the spring cleaning challenge script. So we already wrote out the whole script for the challenge for you. And it's in this thing, and you would just copy and paste as you needed. So that's there. And
So
then
then you make the choice, either you're doing it in your prospect vault, you could do this in your member vault, you can do it on Facebook in a Facebook group. There's different ways. It depends on which way you want to do it, or you can do it several ways if you wanted to do both.
And then also in that one is the spring cleaning challenge graphics. It has all the links there. Here's all the graphics that you would need for the challenge. Sorry. So it's pretty, I mean, it's complete. Does that answer your question, Myrna?
Yes, that's excellent. One other quick question, and thank you for taking this the extra step. I'm sure it's not just helpful for me, but for everyone on here.
Definitely. Yep.
Okay, so you said that we're going to find this in the blog. Do we need to be adding blog then to our menu on our homepage so people can find this?
So you could, and that's up to you if you want to do that. You could just share this blog out too. You could just share your link for your blog out and not do that. I would only add blog to your menu, honestly, if you are going to be writing consistently. If you're not, then there's probably no reason to put it up in there.
Or
But
at least until you have several, to be able to share. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also put it in a page. If you do, there's different, I mean, it kind of depends on kind of where you want to go with it.
If you ran it in your member vault, I personally would do it in a discussion room. And the reason is you can schedule out posts. It takes it away from having to, you can just knock it out of adding it to it. How would you add it to a prospect vault? So you would go to your prospect vault, figure out where you want it to be showing. And like I said, I would just do a discussion page, and you can name the discussion page Spring Cleaning Challenge, and excuse me, and then you would just put in the discussion post, like just as you were adding whatever content on the bottom of it, that's where you would do it. Does that make sense, Terry? Okay. Would you do a post each day in the discussion page? I would. And the way that it's set up is that first day, if you, in that PDF, it shows stuff in red, and everything in red is like our suggestions of what we would suggest. So that first day is really not a challenge. They're not actually cleaning anything. That first day is a welcome, telling them what's going on. And then we recommend that you do a ditch and switch video. Like you talk about, or maybe you cover some ingredients that you want to cover and stuff like that. I have a ditch and switch class that I like to teach, and that's what I always do that first day. And then I don't remember what day it is, but there's another day where it says go live, or if you're in your vault, record a video of you making a tub scrub, showing them how easy it is to take thieves cleaner and baking soda and do it that way. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? If not, we're going to wrap it up. These discussion times, I think, are my favorite. Will the spring cleaning campaign work? The spring campaign work with basic GetOiling? It will, because the only thing that you're downloading, the only thing is the blog post. That's it. And
I'm using a discussion room.
Yeah, and you're using a discussion room page or a discussion room, which you have unlimited discussion rooms if you're putting in your prospect vault or even your member vault. You are welcome, and you are amazing, Myrna. You all are amazing. Okay, well, I better go deal with this little extra I have and see if my actual child is up from his nap. So make sure that you're in our Facebook group. It's a great place to ask questions. Lots of different resources in there. That spring cleaning challenge freebie is in there as well. Just lots of stuff. So we'll see you next Tuesday. And remember, if you have any topics that you want us to cover, let us know, because we will cover them. We will go through them. That would be so helpful to us. All right. We'll see you later.
See you.